Hello and welcome. My name is Tiina Kivinen and I'm here to share with you some little tricks and tools for how you can make yoga props at home, especially for a restorative yoga practice. As we know that not everyone has access to yoga props, maybe you're finding these practices and it's very new to you, and you may at some point find more traditional yoga props, but it can be really helpful to know what's in your home, what's available to be used and to be transformed into a yoga prop. One of the common props that we use in a yoga practice is a bolster, and I have one here, and I have it positioned with two blocks underneath it as well, just to show you that this is one of the postures that we'll be doing a little DIY exploration of how we can make this happen at home without these props. So first, I just wanted to give you a look at this, what this looks like with the traditional yoga props, and then I'm going to move them out of the way. And I'll show you some options of what we might be able to do at home. So what I've found are, first of all, a couple of books. And I have two sort of nice thick books. As you can see, they're almost the kind of shape and size of a block. So one option here is that I'm going to stack these books and put them on the mat just like that. There's also the option, if you have multiple books, is to use a couple of different books and stack them, maybe like that. But for now, I'm just going to stack these ones. I think that might work. Again, a lot of what you're doing when you're exploring making your own props at home is going to be trying things out, seeing what works, and maybe even just really making it an exploration and discovering what works best for your body. So I have a couple of books there that I'm sort of makeshifting a block. And I have a couple of bed pillows. Now, I will say that the firmer the pillow, the better. So you might find that actually couch cushions work a lot better than bed pillows. But if you have pretty firm bed pillows, you can also use those. But I'm just using a couple of sort of regular bed pillows just to show you how you might be able to use those. What I also have on hand are a couple of other kinds of smaller cushions. And you can remember with our original position, there was an incline with the blocks and the bolster. So what I'm going to do is look at this and think, okay, how can I make an incline? I'm going to add another pillow here and another pillow here. Okay, so I've got a little bit of an incline, and then I'm going to start stacking my bed pillows just like this. So you can see that it's a little bit different, but it still has that quality of being an incline. And in the supported shavasana or supported back bend position, one might be wiggling up the lower back nice and close to the props and gently leaning back. Wonderful. And I'll mention as well that here, if you were to bring the body into what's called Badakonasana, which is bound angle pose, and you don't have blocks or yoga cushions to put underneath the thighs, you can also reach for something like a rolled blanket. So I've got a couple of rolled blankets handy here, and I'm just sliding them underneath my thighs. And you can always layer more blankets and pillows to make sure that you feel very comfortable there. So this is one option here for this pose. So I'll also mention that if you do not have access to that kind of size of book, you can do a really similar position here without the books. So even just stacking those pillows, but you do want to make sure that you are making that incline. So in this case, I'm going to just try my best to use my props to make a little bit of an incline. So it's going to be a little bit of a different experience, but the main thing is that the props are not collapsing beneath me, that there's enough firmness to stay somewhat lifted. And here I might also be reaching for another prop to place underneath my head because bed pillows can be quite soft. I might need a little bit more stability there. So there you can see I am again in a supported back bend position with makeshift props. Okay. And I'll also bring to attention as well how you might be able to use something like a scarf or a tie instead of a strap. So here I have just a common necktie and a scarf, and for some postures in restorative yoga, you might find yourself looping straps around the body. So one example I'll give here is legs up the bolster. So I have my wonderful makeshift bolster already ready, and I'm going to bring my legs up over the bolster. But your instructor might encourage you to strap your legs together using a strap. So what I'm going to do is just take this tie, this necktie, and tie it around my legs. And here we want to make sure that the knot is not really cutting into any body, any part of the legs that's uncomfortable. So I'm just making sure that that's in a nice comfortable position. So here I am with my legs elevated with a makeshift strap around my legs. And I also have this scarf on hand too, which I could use around the legs if I don't have a tie. But this can also be really nice to bring in as an eye covering, as eye pillows are something really lovely that we use in restorative practice. So in this case, I'm just gently draping this light covering over my eyes using something as simple as a scarf. So we have these options for our straps, for our eye coverings, for our bolsters. And again, I encourage you to get creative with what's around the home, even if you're doing a posture that requires a block. Again, you could use a pillow, you could use a book, you could use a rolled blanket underneath the body to find that support. And I'll show you one more option here, which is for another supported back bend, which is fish pose. And fish pose usually uses a bolster, maybe with a block underneath, but maybe not. But I'd like to show you how you can make that pose happen using just a couple of rolled blankets. So I already have my rolled blankets ready, and I'm laying them out on the mat. I'm choosing to stack 2 blankets together. And I can also, because I'm making it at home, I could make my roll as wide or as tall or as long as is needed for my body. And that's the beauty of making your own props. You can really make them work for you. I also attend to smoothing out the part that's going to make contact with my body in order to calm the nervous system. And this is something we go into a lot more in our Moon to Moon restorative yoga teacher training, which I'll post the link to below the video, just in case you're interested in more tools, more techniques to be able to really calm the nervous system. So here I'm making sure that there's not a lot of wrinkles that are going to be right up against my body. Again, wiggling up nice and close, reclining back. So here I've made a lovely supported fish pose without having a bolster. I've rolled 2 blankets together. So lovely and so relaxing. So there are many ways that you can use your own items at home for making your restorative yoga props. And please comment on the video with anything else that you enjoy doing or any reflections that you have. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much and be well.